Welcome to Wake Up to Makeup. Thank you for tuning in already. I appreciate you guys for starting the heart party. That is awesome. Good morning. Thank you. Good morning. I'm not putting my hair up quite yet because it's still tight. So in like 4 days, then I'll start doing different braiding hairstyles. So that should be fun. So today we're doing, or this whole week, we're doing pop of color, and I want to show you guys how to use color in different ways. So how to place it so it's more wearable, or so you're comfortable kind of introducing it to your makeup look. Good morning. Before we get started, if you guys could, one, tell me where you're from. So tell me where you're tuning in from, and I'm gonna set up a few things and we'll get started. Thank you for sharing. Cleveland, Atlanta, Dallas, Birmingham, Milwaukee. Ashley from Charleston. What's up, Ashley? Kansas City. Nice. Atlanta. SC. I love it when you guys know each other and say hi. I think that is awesome. So today, pop of color, we're doing a neutral eye on top and a color underneath. Well, hello, LaShonda. Appreciate you tuning in. Also, before we get started, if you guys could invite your friends. Oh, nice. Hey, Chloe in Houston. If you guys can invite your friends to tune in with us so we can have more people join in on this scope, that would be great. And there's hearts going up. So if you are new to Periscope, what that's doing is it is helping me become a preferred artist here on Periscope. So how you give hearts is you just tap the screen during the broadcast. So I thank you guys for already doing that. So today we are doing a pop of color on the bottom lid. So I used a neutral eye on this side and then just focus the color underneath here. Nicole, thank you. Thank you. We are going to be working out of my palette lid broke, but I can show you guys. Is it upside down? It is. We're going to be working out of the 26 Shadow Blush palette today. So I'm going to be using the neutrals that are in here, and I'm going to be using the blush that is in here as well. So I'll show you what the actual palette looks like, and that's from Coastal Scents. Oh, one of them came out. There we go. So this is what the palette looks like. As you can see, I'm missing one. That's all right. So let's dive in. So we are going to be basing our eyes with NYX Primer in Nude. Let me find my brush. And I'm using a small, flat, stiff brush. So as you guys can see, pretty much as we start diving into different techniques and how to do eyeshadow and things like that, the beginning steps pretty much stay the same. So I always prime my eyes or base my eyes, which is the same thing, unless I'm doing a black smoky eye. Then I base it with something a little different. And we're going to go underneath our eyes as well, because we add a little bit of shadow underneath here to make that color pop even more. And making sure it's all spread out nice and evenly. So we want the attention to be more on the bottom lid, so we are going to stick with neutral colors. And first, I keep dropping this. First, I'm going to use this color right here. Sorry, there's no names on these colors, but it's in the 26 Shadow and Blush palette from Coastal Scents. Yes, I used a small, this brush right here. It's out of Coastal Scents as well, and it's a small, flat, stiff brush is what it's called. Now, these are the brushes that I use when I'm doing things, but you guys may find as you start practicing your makeup and doing different looks that you like to use different brushes. You know, there's no rule that you have to use the same exact brushes that I'm using. Do whatever helps you achieve the look better. And since I have flares on, I'm going to change the direction of the brush and go this way so that I can get to my lash line better. Then I'm going to, because I want it to lighten up in the center, thank you, we are going to use this color right here and brighten it up a little bit. This is a flat brush still, but it's fluffy. Thank you for asking because I forgot to tell you guys. Okay, and a little bit more color right in the center. So same color, just adding in the center. Then for our transition color, switching to my favorite blending brush, which is MAC 224. It's a large blending brush, and we're going to use this dark brown for our transition color. And right underneath that brow bone, so I'm right in the crease, doing the windshield wiper motion, and then I'm just blending that transition color up a little bit. I don't want to make the top part or the top of the lid too busy, just because we're going to focus all of our color on the bottom. Alright, so without adding any more product, I am just going to blend so both sides, both lids are blended evenly. Okay, so we're done with that. Now I'm switching to this palette right here, the Urban Decay Electric palette. I used it yesterday on Miss Dana, and we used Savage yesterday. But today we're gonna mix two colors. What is this one called? This one is called Freak, which is this green one, and Fringe, which is this one. We're gonna mix these two together and tap on that color on the bottom lid. Thank you. And you know what? If you guys were tuning in yesterday, Dana went on a hike after we did her full face makeup, and she sent me a picture after, and her makeup was still vibrant and looking good. So that was awesome. That really lasted her all day. So using these two colors, because I want more of a turquoise than I'm just going to blend the two colors. And pat right underneath the eye. So the color from Urban Decay is pressed pigment, and the thing about pigments is they're really, really vibrant. So that's why I'm a huge fan of this palette, because when you're working with bright colors, you need the consistency to be really vibrant. So after we do that, now we're going to line our bottom lid. And I'm using MAC's Eye Kohl Pencil, and it's called Smolder, right in the bottom line there, right in the water line. Make sure you get in that water line good, because you don't want a separation between where the color is and where your black liner is. No separation. If you have long lashes underneath, like long bottom lashes, what you can do is after you've done this step and you've done your bright liner that I'm going to show you guys, you can then gently and carefully put black liner on. Or not liner, black mascara. Alright, so the color, the pop of color of today is Aqualine by MAC. It's really pretty. Love this color. I had this for a really long time and surprisingly has not clumped up on me or done anything crazy. So when you're getting the product out of this container, you just need a little bit. If you get too much product, like see how that's dripping with color, it's going to be really hard to draw a thin line. And it's not going to look good to have a thick line. So after you get that, just make sure you kind of wipe some of that off the edge. You want to be able to control the product, so it's always better to start with less and then add more. So moving in a little closer into the camera so you guys can see, all I'm doing is creating a thin line underneath. And that is all. Yes, I am going to do a neutral lip with this just because I want the focus to stay in this area. Now that I've done that, I'm going to do the top liner. That color I've had for years and it's amazing. Alright, so top liner, what I use all the time, Bobbi Brown's Black Ink Gel Liner. And instead of an angle brush, I am using a eyeliner brush. And let's do a slight wing here. So I always start from the center of my lid, and before I add more product, I draw my wing liner. When you're drawing your wing liner, use your bottom liner to extend up and out so you can see, so you can draw your, it's almost like lifting your face up. If you draw your wing liner down, it actually makes your eyes look like they're drooping. So make sure you follow that bottom line there, bottom waterline, to see when it's time to kind of go up. Good morning, Mel. Mel B. All right. It is harder to do wing liner with hooded eyes. You would have to keep practicing it. In general, it's hard to do wing liner. All right, so we are done with that. Quick, right? We're done with our eyes. Now we can do our regular regimen, a regular foundation regimen. Let me put some of this stuff away so I have room. So, where is my primer? Okay, so primer today is going to be MAC's Moisture Infusion with a little bit of glitter, and I've shared this with you guys before. If you have oily skin, this particular primer is not your friend. You know what? I still have that, even though I do wing liner a lot. Sometimes I have that issue too. So what I do to help me with that is when I do my highlights, sometimes I'll correct it with my concealer if it's not too bad. You know, sometimes I have days where it's really bad and then I just start over. But there are times where maybe this side is thicker than this side, and you can correct that with your concealer when you're doing your highlight. So, still using Revlon Color Stay, Caramel and Cappuccino, the two mixed together. I'll be using that until I run out of it, guys. I think gel liner is easier than doing it with liquid in the beginning, but I like that liquid gives you like a true black color. That's what I like about liquid. Like it gives you, sometimes with gel liner, if it starts drying out or anything like that, it turns gray looking, but liquid liner never does that. All right, let's mix it up. You felt like why is that? Okay, I'm getting my mix together. Okay, so using the Oh Wow brush, if I can get it out. Okay, using my Oh Wow brush, I'm gonna blend in and apply my foundation. Oh! So when you're applying your foundation, just make sure you get enough, a little bit, just like with everything else. I always do a little bit of foundation and then keep adding if I feel like one spot doesn't have enough coverage. Any color could really work. I tend to use, like, depending on what's going on with my eyes. So today I did a neutral, so you could have done any color. You could have done pink. You could have done, it's called a Oh Wow brush. It's like one of my favorite brushes. It's by Kaylin. But you could have used a pink, you could have did blue, purple, whatever color you want, just because your eyes are neutral. So you can play with any color underneath your eye. Colors that tend to be a little harder to get as vibrant are pinks. Pinks are like really hard to get vibrant. It's not impossible, but you are going to have to work at it more. Just an FYI. And when I'm doing color, like let's say I do a color on my lid and a different color underneath here, I try to have them be complementary. So on a color wheel, there's certain complementary colors that look really good together. A lot of times basketball teams, football teams, they all wear complementary colors for their uniform to make it pop. So like for instance, violet or purple goes with gold and yellow. And those are something I can break down later, but really just have fun and just choose colors that you like and put them together and see if you like them. I think it's necessary that you should have your brows. Oh, I had just extra product. I think it's necessary. Thank you. Good morning. To wax your eyebrows. Like I'm going on almost a month and it becomes harder to fill them in, and it doesn't really have a shape. So I feel like it's necessary to get your eyebrows waxed, threaded, tweezed, whatever you do to make it look good. Oh, got you. So what I would do is maybe just have them clean up more than make a shape. Because what you're going to do when you fill in your eyebrows is you're going to actually create a brow, right? So I would just have them clean up, or maybe you can just clean up. So, because you don't really want eyebrows here, you know what I mean? You want that space clean because it just helps for a cleaner application with your eyeshadows. So since you have thinner brows, then I would just clean it up. And maybe you don't have to go to someone to do that. Maybe you could just do that at home. So we're in our highlighting stage, and I'm using my MAC Pro Concealer in W35. It can be hard to make a brow, yes. You are welcome. But if you have thick eyebrows, then really what you do is you just kind of fill in spaces that may not have as much hair as another space. You don't really have to do as much work as someone with a thinner brow. It was actually a little bit of eyeshadow from the Electric palette from Urban Decay, and we used MAC's liquid liner, and it's called Aqualine. So it is really time for me to do my eyebrows. So as you can see, this one is just giving me all types of weird shapes. But when I do this, a person who only does blush and no foundation. So depending on the even skin tone that you may have, it's by MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. If you have a pretty even complexion, it may not be necessary for you to wear foundation. You could probably just do powder just to, you know, make sure you're not oily. However, I really don't like when people do half of makeup, so like maybe just wear lipstick and nothing else, no foundation, no anything, because I feel like it creates unbalance in your face. And I'm not saying you have to do the whole, you know, highlight, contour and all of that, but I feel like when everything is put together well, it looks well. When you miss a step or skip a step, like maybe I'll do full out eyes like this and then have no blush, it just looks weird to me, and that could be my makeup artist eye, but that's just my personal opinion. Okay, so we blended all that away, and now let's do our eyebrows and create a shape. So I am, because I need to get the eyebrows done, I am fixing the shape and giving the illusion that my eyebrows are done. And they are on point even though they are not. Yes, this is concealer still. Concealer is always used for highlight or a lighter color foundation. Either or, but most of the time, or always, I use concealer, which should be 2 to 3 shades lighter than your foundation. Your concealer should never match and never be the same color as your foundation. All right. Yes, actually, that's funny that you put that, because I was thinking about doing that either tomorrow or Thursday. So yes, I can do that. Yeah, you should do your foundation first and then your concealer. Why? Because you got to think about it. Your concealer is lighter than your foundation. So then if you do your concealer first, what happens is your foundation comes over and just covers over everything. So you want to do it the other way. The only time you do your concealer first is if you're using a powdered foundation. So like Bare Essentials, things like that, then you want to do all your liquid products before your powder products. And then you really wouldn't put your foundation over the areas that you've highlighted if it was powder. And then, of course, unless you're hiding blemishes. So if you're hiding blemishes, you could use a corrective concealer, which comes in different colors, or you can tap your regular concealer if it's just a light blemish. But most of the time, or 99% of the time, you do your concealer after your foundation. And then with blemishes, you'll pat a little bit of your foundation in that area and then you cover it. But you do want to cover it so that it is not shown where the blemish is. Alright, so there are the eyebrows. It took a little bit more work today just because of what's going on with them. You can go to MAC if you'd like, or go to some sort of makeup artist who could help you with that. But if you have your foundation color, you can kind of see that what foundation you need. Or not foundation, concealer. Just make sure it's 2 to 3 shades lighter, and you can put it on, maybe bring your foundation with you and eye it, but you can definitely go to MAC and someone should be able to help you. Just make sure that it is in a warm tone. And they'll break it down. You know, I just don't trust the makeup artist at MAC when it comes to my foundation. I went in there the other day. I didn't tell them that I was a makeup artist or anything, and I was just curious to see what the girl would do as far as helping me with my foundation. And she gave me the darkest foundation color. I was like, that is not my color. Sorry, that's not. So, you know, not all the times do they know. Yes, drugstore brands for foundation. A secret shopper. Drugstore brands for foundation. So Liz, she's been trying a lot of different foundations, and she has me on Revlon Color Stay. Love that so far. Right, exactly. They do. And dead or ashy. Hey, morning, Shari. Yeah, that too. And also another one that is it True Color by L'Oreal. Someone was telling me, or no, by CoverGirl. And that's the one that what's her name? Queen Latifah promotes. And that one is really good as well. So Revlon Color Stay, although not all drugstores have all the darker colors. True Blend, thank you. Thank you. True Blend by CoverGirl is a good one. And Maybelline Fit. Just make sure you watch, that's this one. I'm trying that one. Revlon, on Revlon I use, why am I drawing a blank right now? I use Cappuccino and Caramel Mix together. Sephora, or I've never got my makeup done at Sephora. However, I probably would say Sephora just because they have all different brands. Thank you, Scotty. Under my eyes, I used the Electric Palette by Urban Decay. And then I use MAC's Aqualine. Are they? I've never got my makeup done there, but I just feel like they have a ton of brands. But I will say when it comes to MAC too, they are supposed to be trained. Like they go to classes to learn how to do makeup. What I will say is I've never been a huge fan of them matching me foundation wise, but the eyeshadow is always on point when I've gotten my makeup done at MAC. Long time ago though, like in high school. I think high school was the last time I got my makeup done from them. I learned from makeup because I went to a makeup school called April Love Academy here in California in San Gabriel. So I learned a lot from there, and then from trial and error. I've always loved makeup. I'm a hairstylist. Yes, I am. I'm contouring right now, and I am putting it around my hairline and my cheekbones and all that. It will be if you keep on doing it. Yes, it's contour powder. Oh man, I forgot it already. Actually, it's CoverGirl. Well, I'm using Revlon. I used Revlon for my foundation, and it was CoverGirl True Blend. Okay, so right now we're doing a light contour. Well, if you're a beginner, you know what? I would say just have fun with it. Don't stress out on all the steps. So now we're using the bronze color in City Color Effects contour palette, which is the lighter brown, and we're just putting warmth back into our face. Yes, you have to blend your concealer in. It's like crucial that it's blended in. The name of my translucent powder is called RCMA. And I get it from this makeup store out here in California, but I think you can get it online. But there's also another one called, and it's at, I want to say Walmart. Oh my gosh, and NYX has a good one as well. I cannot think of the name. I'll post it when I remember it, you guys, because I cannot remember. So, this is the blush that we're using. This one right here, which we found out on our dupes show that this is a dupe for Max Fever. Yes, that is true. You do have to make sure everything is blending. You have the right color. Concealer, then foundation. Concealer, then foundation is how it's supposed to go. So what I'm doing is I'm just patting on the blush. Thank you. No, don't do a scope fail. You can do it. Let's see. My skin regimen, I did a video on that and it's posted on YouTube, so you can check that out. No, that's right. Thank you. It's foundation then concealer. You are correct. I read it backwards. Foundation then concealer. Only time you do concealer first is if you have a powdered foundation. My YouTube channel is Deandra Giselle. No, church lady, absolutely. Anytime you have too much blush on, you got to blend it out or use your powder to soften it. So now that we have our blush, I do want to add a lighter color. So I'm going to add this color right here and just a little bit of it. Thank you, you guys. And last but not least, let's talk about our highlighter, which is MAC Gold Deposit. That's not it. So this is my favorite. Blending will be your friend in your makeup application, trust me. So we are highlighting our, right above where you put your blush, the top of your nose, or you could do your entire nose, it's up to you, but just the bridge of your nose. Yes, I would wear this every day. However, I am a hairstylist and we wear all black, so I think what's acceptable for every day may not be what's acceptable for you, but maybe you don't do as bright of a color. Like if you would have did like a dark blue or a purple, let me show you. So if you would have done like maybe a blue like this or maybe a purple underneath your eye, you may feel like it's more wearable for work or your everyday. You know, you don't have to choose the exact colors I choose, but because I do wear all black 99% of the time for work, then I do end up trying brighter colors. This palette is the Urban Decay Electric palette, and I love it for all my bright colors. It is awesome, highly pigmented. It doesn't take a lot of work to get it very vibrant. So this palette is worth it. I think it's around $54 at Sephora. And I use Max Gold Deposit for the highlighter. Yes, that palette is for darker skin tones. This palette is it. Actually, it's really it for anybody, but I do feel like if you have any pigmentation in your skin, bold colors look very beautiful on you. So, you know, don't be afraid to try it. Tomorrow, we are going to do another eyeshadow look with color. Wish you luck. I'm sure they have it. We're going to be doing another eyeshadow color, and this time we are going to do it in the corner. So we're going to do a pop of color right in the corners here and keep the rest of the eye neutral. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to play with the pop of color with your neutral, just introducing it to your everyday look. That's going to be tomorrow, which is Wednesday. Thursday, we'll do a darker look, a vampy look. No, I don't do really makeup for Halloween because I'm not really like a special effects artist. I like more beauty makeup. And no, I didn't braid my hair. My friend and cousin did it for me yesterday, which is why when I did the scope yesterday, I had my hair wrapped, because right after the scope, I had my hair braided. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Tomorrow we'll do another pop of color, and then Friday we'll be doing that with the lips, so more of a darker color though. So I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. p.m. to 7:30 a.m. It kind of depends. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys, and I thank you guys for the heart party the entire time, so I appreciate that. You will catch the final look on my Instagram, which is Deandra Giselle, and also on Facebook. You'll check it there. If you guys do this look, please tag me on Facebook or Instagram, Deandra Giselle, on all social media. Also, this scope, if you missed it, you can catch the replay here for 24 hours, and then you'll also get to see it on my YouTube channel, which is Deandra Giselle. I don't like BH Cosmetics because I feel like I have to work too hard to make it bright. And, oh, and then I will post on my Facebook the translucent powder that you could get from NYX, and there's one from Walmart. I think it's called Sputter something. I'll post both of them. So I will let you guys know about that later on today. I will not forget, I promise. So thank you so much. Also, last little reminder, there is a Gab Fest that we are doing. Myself, Miss Kev on stage, Melissa Fredericks, Shari Charisse, Optimistic Divorcees, and Dana, which is Dynamite here on what are we on? Periscope. So we are coming together and doing a Love Yourself Gab Fest. If you guys have any questions or topics, we have a new email, but called loveyourselfgabfest@gmail.com. So feel free to send us topics, tell us that you're interested. Those of you guys who have emailed to Love Yourself Conference email, don't worry, we still have your information. You guys will get everything. So you guys, please email us and let us know your topics and what you want us to talk about during there, and let us know that you're interested. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 a.m. Bye. Have a good day, guys.